this is extremely discomforting, While at eClerks, you know, while we basically happen to be at that particular work floor, there is a pond, basically, folks, which is, I believe, which we believe, third last of the ponds, and there is no name or number associated with any pond, Uh, but basically, on that pond, there happens to be an extremely beautiful princess, who sits there always, who seems to be like an extremely voracious, voluptuously, gorgeous girl, whom we see almost all the times, The thing which seems to be, folks, is that, that girl, seems to be extremely pretty and all that, But we have a really uncomfortable sort of a scenario, always almost, while we deal with this, because the thing seems to be, folks, that well, obviously there is like nothing what we can do about it. There are things, folks, which have been literally lost. We don't know why the hell there's so many people over here today. It makes it like literally impossible to record some sort of footage. Folks, with one major difficulty which we face all the time, which happens to be that all the buildings and societies in the vicinity, folks, which we see are honestly, they're not the ones, they're not how they used to exist many years ago. If you look at all these places in the vicinity, folks, well, there is no work done about it, We sometimes feel as if 2011, even though it was a year wherein it's not like that great development was done, but still we feel, folks, that 2011 was really accomplished in that way. While we understand that, while we take into account that British people came to India, ruled India, later on established a marine drive and all that, we find it extremely discomforting, So look, that particular New Prerana residential society. Now, folks, back in 2008, there were many things, which we dealt with, many things. Boys and girls, old, young, clean-shaved, and, full of life, full of enthusiasm, mischief, full of optimism, and it all ultimately faded away, folks. That dental center, which seems to be like a beacon, while we see it from here, also is a place, folks, where an extremely beautiful actress was encountered with. We can't do anything about it, folks, at all,